Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of 100% Orange Juice. I'm just chilling here in the lobby, waiting for a game to start. Last time I said we were gonna play a swag Popo, so I really just want to get into a lobby here. I wonder if it'll start or I'll wait for one more person. Either way, I'm fine with the either or. We might be waiting for a while, so it might be wise to just pause the video. But it looks like we're gonna start anyways. So let's just go pick our swag Popo. There we go, and then we'll just build Marie Poppo like we normally do. I want these stiff crystals to preserve my trap. Excuse me, to preserve my hypercard essentially. And I put in 3 puddings, Princess's Privilege, a nice present, nice jingle, and Holy Knight. But then I might just consider taking out nice jingle in favor of a reverse attribute field. Yeah, so I'll go with this. And I'm gonna play a swag Popo this game. We're up against Suguri, Aru, and another Marie Poppo. Not the best matchup since please don't rape us, Castella. I'm bad. Don't worry. Yeah, like, when new players see you get, like, 82 wins and you're level 41, just really scares most of them off, so I really appreciate, Gnaw, Butts, and Ruri playing with me. It's really hard to find a lobby that's not already in-game, so, since that's the only way I can actually show off swag Popo, since you can't change skins. If you join during the middle of a game. So, like I was saying before, this is a bad matchup if these two know what they're doing, because Suguri and Aru are evasion-based characters, and with Marie Poppo's -1 attack, most of the time we're not going to be able to hit either of them. So we're gonna avoid combat as much as possible. Planet Earth is a very good stage for Marie Poppo because it's spacious, you can run away from your aggressors, and there's also the regeneration field effect that you'll heal 1 health every 5 turns, and that really adds up in the long run, especially when you're playing a character like Marie Poppo who has a lot of health, and your health is your main strategy. Fucking shit. Probably the landing of the drop panel happens a lot more than you might think it would. But just have to embrace it sometimes. I know I've embraced it so many times on Tomomo Hell, landing those ×2 drops. What am I worried about this game? I'm mainly worried about Suguri, who is the only combat character in this current game. Aru is a passive farmer, and Aru just doesn't do well against Marie Poppo. I mean, Aru can use Nice Present, but then if you use Nice Present, then you're just giving Marie Poppo more ways to get her hypercard to steal from you, and if she steals from you, you can't really go on the aggressive. Whereas, compared to, say, if you stole from Suguri, you don't know if she has an accelerated card, so she could easily just take back those stars you stole from her. I'll take the short path. And I'm really surprised I KO the Sentinel there. That's probably the least likely thing to happen. And wins are not a concern for us at all, so doesn't really matter. The few stars we got from that do matter, though. I don't like that Ruri has 3 cards in hand. Those could be accelerated cards. But we won't have to worry about that until she reaches level 3. Now, a good counter to Aru that's aside from Marie Poppo is just have your hand at hand size limit at all times. So that way her nice present card won't be used to full efficiency. In that regard, it also makes Aru a pretty bad choice on charity stages, since they'll be gaining your opponents. I mean, will be gaining cards by way of other than just the draw panels. Current status. Everyone is level 2 except for Aru. But Aru will be level 2 now, so we're all gonna be level 2. CPU Poppo actually has 0 stars and 0 wins, but it doesn't really matter because CPU Poppo isn't too much of a concern. Now, I was actually paying attention there, and I noticed that CPU Poppo didn't lose any stars putting down that trap. So that tells me, well, I couldn't have guessed it was for the future of the toy store, but I knew it was a 0 cost trap. So we're just gonna wait on Ruri to roll with that drop panel. Nah, but it has a choice between bonus and bonus. We're gonna take the long path because we don't want to put ourselves in front of Suguri. And the chicken actually survives our attack. I haven't said it much, but I like Aru's theme song a lot. Probably my 3rd favorite. 2nd being Pete, and then 1st obviously being Tomomo. And I guess that partially makes Aru one of my favorite characters to play as. Aru is a fun character, not so much a competitive one. Using your hyper to give your opponent hypers is always a fun time. Well, that is if you're not planning on winning, for the most part. But Aru is actually a pretty good counter to the store manager character, since the store manager character has to take damage whenever he discards, and Aru puts everyone's hand size to max. You can circumvent that as a store manager by putting in like cards such as Bad Pudding, because then you can land on those traps, but as a store manager you won't be able to put them down yourself. And as Aru, you can also put down cards like Flamethrowers and Bad Puddings, because then that'll deplete your opponent's hand, and then you can combine that with your nice present. Many interesting deck synergies based around Aru's hypercards, to say the least. Aru's gonna fight the Sentinel and do 1 damage to it, and then most likely evade the counterattack. And discard 1 card because her hand size is full. If I had to guess, she probably has a lot of hyper cards in hand, and she doesn't want to use them because you're actually losing stars if you use your hyper card when your opponents don't have, or should I say your opponent has a lot of cards in their hand, because I believe it costs 30 stars to use, so unless you're giving away 4 more cards, then you're not really benefiting from it. I don't remember if it's 30 stars, maybe I'm mistaking it for like other hyper cards like Accelerator and Extraordinary Specs. If Aru ever uses it, then it can definitely jog my memory. Pudding. CPU Poppo continues to not be a threat. With 3 health, then Ruri here could easily pursue CPU Poppo, but unfortunately she landed on the warp panel, which puts her in front of CPU Poppo. So no one will be able to assault CPU Poppo, at least for a few turns. Now we've reached our level 4, but that was by sheer luck that we landed on that lollipop. And now we see Suguri reaching level 3, so Accelerator now becomes an issue. I would say we're safe if we're 8 or higher tiles away from her, though. I consider 8 to be the threshold of when 2 rolls won't mess with you. I'm not sure if it's actually 8 or if it's 9. If I do like a quick probability of 2 dice rolls, I could tell you, but I'm not here to do math. I'm here to play 100% orange juice. And I'm only bringing this up because like a few days back I was playing Settlers of Catan with some friends, and the board setup for Catan is nice enough to put dots which indicate how many outcomes it is to roll the particular number. So say I think it was like 6. The number 6 has 4 or 5 outcomes, so then they would give you they'll put down like 4 dots or 5 dots depending on. Obviously, numbers 2 and 12 are 1 outcome, so only 1 dot there. Same applies for like any 2 roll in orange juice. Current game status. Let's see what we roll, and we're gonna take the long path. That will allow... We'll get rid of the out of ammo. Yeah, we're taking the long path, because then hopefully in a turn or 2, we'll gain passive stars, and then that will allow us to reach our lollipop, and reach our level 5 Norma. CPU Poppo doing not very smart things. We see an accelerator going down by Ruri, but she's not really gonna benefit from that at all. So that's the first, I guess, newbie mistake when playing a Suguri. You should really only be using accelerator if you're like going for game, or you want to take out a boss, or getting a double kill or something like that. Any kind of like reward you can reap using the accelerator card. Most likely you would use it to fight someone, and that would most likely guarantee a KO. Not always, but very likely. Because most of the time, rolling twice will get higher than a 6, but there are those scenarios where you can get like lower. And not likely, but it'll happen eventually if you just do it enough times. That's just how normal distributions work. So next turn we should get enough stars. Okay, we don't really need the... might as well get rid of Tragedy. So CPU Poppo is gonna fight the Skiff Robot, and surprisingly CPU Poppo survives, and now Suguri, or Ruri, yeah, this is the proper use of an accelerator card. So you use the accelerator card to take out CPU Poppo, and then you use the accelerator card to try to take out the boss. Although it's only 3 damage, and you can easily evade that with the accelerator bonus. So, an ideal usage of the accelerator card there. It would have been a lot better if the boss had already taken some hits, so it would have been more viable to actually KO the boss. But aside from that, it's pretty good. Now, who's to say that there aren't 2 more accelerator cards here, so I should really be playing scared. I'm gonna go for the roll here. And I was hoping to reach the level 5 Norma. There is a risk that Suri could accelerate me here, though. Which will be an excellent play. But she is gonna go for it. And she rolls just high enough to fight me. We have no combat cards to help us in this situation. Although she rolls an abysmal number, so we're gonna be able to survive. Rude. Quite rude indeed. So, you see Aru using Forced Revival on CPU Poppo, which, again, is an ideal play, but at the same time, it's not so ideal if you're gonna have to fight the boss afterwards. But you're gonna you're gonna survive that, so it's not too bad. We're gonna use here and there because I want to separate myself from Suguri. And there we go. We still have a pudding card, but I don't really want to use it right now since we're more than half health, and regeneration should take into effect in a turn or two. So that'll put us at 5 health, assuming nothing else happens like a long distance shot or a cloud of seagulls. Now, since Suguri is in front of us, we have no fear of her using an accelerator card on us anymore. So this is the ideal situation because she's the only one that could actually stop us from winning at this point, aside from the boss. Let's see. Roll a 3. I really don't want to step on traps, so I'm just gonna go on the drop panel. I'll lose my 5 stars, but it's a lot better than potentially stepping on like an exchange trap. Exchange trap's very popular amongst the newer players because it's essentially get out of jail free card. If you're lucky enough for it to actually work. Whenever I use it, it usually doesn't work out the way I intended to. I had a feeling this would happen. But I'm glad we can survive this, so next turn we're gonna pop our pudding card, and that'll put us in a much better position. Now, Suguri does use an accelerator, potentially trying to go for the boss, but actually she's just gonna go for CPU Poppo again. But CPU Poppo survives with 1 health, and yeah, you can evade that. So, CPU Poppo will most likely move next turn, and then Ruri will go and get the kill, unless CPU Poppo lands on the boss. Then most likely boss will KO Poppo. So I assume Gnawbutts is gonna pursue me, so might as well just pop this pudding card right now and not take any risks. Now, in a few more turns we should be able to reach the 200 star threshold, so if we take the long path and don't encounter a boss along the way, we should be able to win in a few turns. Encountering the boss won't be the end of the world, since we do have 7 health buffer, but encountering it twice would be a huge deal. So, we see Ruri picking up that CPU Poppo kill. Now would be the ideal time to use, well, I guess a pudding card, but I was gonna say an ideal time to use Nice Present, because you'll be giving each player at least 1 card, and that would pay for itself, but perhaps you don't wanna give me a ubiquitous card, since I haven't gotten any of those all game. I know, I could land on the lollipop, but I don't want to because, again, that wouldn't let me win. We're 11 stars short, so we're gonna take the long path and potentially get enough stars for that to work. And surprisingly, we see a gift exchange being used by Suguri. So most likely gift exchange was put in by either CPU Poppo or Aru. So we're gonna be able to win next turn, or this turn even. So I think we're just gonna use the present for you. That'll put us above the star threshold necessary. So we should be able to win next turn. I'll get rid of the Stiff Crystal. Again, the only one who can stop us right now is the boss, and that involves us rolling a 3, so... And, warping away pretty much sealed, your fate. So, worst case scenario, we roll on the boss next turn, but aside from that, it's pretty much our victory, unless we see it like a here or there card, which would warp us away from our lollipop. And unfortunately, CPU Poppo takes out, the Gnawbutts. You what, mate? Takes out Gnawbutts, so, they're not, unfortunately not gonna get as much experience as they normally would. Kinda wanna win, but at the same time, I'm feeling generous, so I'm just gonna take from, CPU Poppo here. And, that 4 roll was unintentional, but I guess it kinda worked out in the end. GG. I'm sorry for, I guess, wrecking you, but, it was not my intention to. to say the least. At least we're gonna be level 42 now, and we unlocked a pink skiff robot, so that's pretty nice. And I'm just gonna show you the lobby here that I didn't have a chance to last time. So I'm gonna leave here, continue, go, and you see like Swag Popo jumping around here. So yeah, I think that'll do it for this episode. Next episode, we're just gonna continue the wonderful grind of unlocking all the colors for the characters. Probably won't do an episode for a while though, because I'm just gonna wait for like another one of these cool events going on, and then I'll do it until then. So until next time, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again. Castella out.